I once ran a series called Learning Luncheons, where I would teach a success principle, and then we'd have a group discussion on how we could apply it in both our business and personal lives. Well, Warren, one of the first people who signed up for the series, he owned a very successful office equipment supply business. Well, when he showed up for the first luncheon, someone recognized him and they said, "Well, what are you doing here? You don't need this." And he just looked at them and said, "This stuff works. That's why I'm here." Well, hi there, and welcome to Side Hustle Hero, the show that is laser focused to inspire you to take action to start or to scale your side hustle income streams. I'm your host, Joan Posivy, author of The Way Success Works. I'm also your guest today. Here's what's up. My vision for this show, when I first conceived it, and still holds true today, is that each episode would be crafted to help you take action and win. That's why I love bringing you the heroes who have been succeeding at their side hustles, to help inspire you to do the same. It's the action piece that's missing for a lot of people. And it's not surprising, as there is a strong force acting against us, and that force is habit. Let's face it, we're all creatures of habit. Consider, for example, your morning routine. It's pretty habitual, as are the majority of our actions or reactions during the day. If you want to achieve a different result than you're now getting, you're going to have to take some different action. If you want to start or scale an existing side hustle, you need to do things differently. Otherwise, you would have already achieved it. And for that action to take place, you'll need to alter some of your habits, and that requires a shift in your mindset. Your mindset is the prime driver behind your success. I often add at the end of an interview a takeaway or a wrap up that focuses more on, the mindset. So for this episode, I decided to go all in, and rather than bring you a guest, I'm going to share with you one of 12 lessons contained in my online program called Turn Your Thoughts into Wanted Things. The reality is we're constantly turning our thoughts, good or bad, into things. So the question becomes, are those things that are showing up in your life a reflection of the good that you desire? Consider this. The results that you're currently experiencing in your life, your happiness, your health, your wealth, are a reflection of your actions, what you do, what you don't do during the day, the opportunities that you seize, and those that you let pass by, and quite frankly, those that you don't even see. Those actions, or non-actions as the case may be, are being driven by the way you think, the way you feel. In other words, your mindset. So if you want to affect real change in your external world, namely your results, you've got to go to the source of what's driving your behavior. And that, my friend, starts in your internal world, in your marvelous mind. Warren, who I referenced in the opening quote, understood that. He was very successful on a lot of levels. And he was also a dedicated student, spending a little bit of time every day in personal development, much like you're doing right now listening to this episode. What I'll be sharing with you in a moment is something that you can apply to any area of your life, not just your side hustle. And by the way, if you screwed up something during the day and later on or at night, you mentally beat yourself up about it, I'll give you a way to deal with that so that you can feel a whole lot better about the situation and perform better the next time. It's part of what I call creating your empowered evening. That and so much more. Welcome to session 4, part 2 of Turn Your Thoughts into Wanted Things, entitled Your Power Tools. Tip number 2 for altering your old conditioning and moving towards that which you seek. Number 2 is to put an end to mental malpractice. The doubt and the worry that can creep in are the weeds that develop after you've planted the equivalent of your orange seed. So it's time to do some weeding. Let's look at how you can make a clear path to the achievement of your goal and get out of your own way, so to speak. Think about the top goal that you're working on. It's time to weed out any negative beliefs that you have about yourself that could be preventing you from making the choices that you need to make and taking the actions that you need to take to reach that goal. The best way to begin is by simply listening to your self-talk. When you close your eyes and get quiet, what do you hear? Do you talk to yourself throughout the day? Likely more than you realize. Some of us do it out loud, but for the most part, I mean the sort of talk that plays in your head minute after minute, hour after hour. In his book, Beyond Hypnosis, clinical psychologist Dr. Lee Poulos points out that we self-talk at a rate of up to 1,500 words per minute. Our self-talk, he writes, is our endless news broadcast about ourselves. Is your self-talk predominantly positive or negative? Shad Helmstetter, in his book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, reports that on average, 77% of what we're saying to ourselves is negative, counterproductive, and works against us. More than 3/4. Can you relate? If so, then you need to take control of that self-talk so it becomes predominantly positive, productive, and works for you. Once you're really listening, once you've tuned into the playback loop of words and phrases, the ones that you repeat over and over again without even realizing it, start to figure out really what you're hearing. What do you say when you talk to yourself? That'll give you an indication of your true beliefs that you hold about yourself. Try to witness them without getting involved or upset by them. Just notice. For example, you may hear yourself say things like, I can't make a decision. I'm always late. I just can't seem to show up on time. That was one of the first ones I personally had to address in myself. I was always late, and it wasn't good. But like I said earlier, you can change just about anything that you want about yourself if the desire is genuinely yours. Here are some others. I'm always in a rush. I'm uncomfortable meeting and greeting people for the first time. Why would they want to talk to me? I look awful. My fill in the blank. Clothes, shoes, hair, face, body, etc. just aren't right or aren't enough. I can't do this. I don't know enough. I don't have enough experience. I'm too young. I'm too old. So as you're consciously listening now for it, decide which limiting beliefs are the most pressing or self-defeating about yourself that you'd like to change. It takes effort and will to make the shift. But if you consider how this belief has held you back in the past, the commitment might be easier to make. In my case, my shyness, the belief that I held that meeting new people was scary and uncomfortable, it resulted in a lot of missed opportunities and fewer friends and relationships, certainly less adventures. Until I did the work to release this deeply rooted negative belief that I held, I would avoid networking opportunities and introducing myself to others. So those were some of the results of my actions or inactions, as the case would be. I didn't like those results that those beliefs were giving me. Once you identified the belief that you're ready to discard, write down what you consider to be its opposite in the form of something that I call a freedom statement. A freedom statement is a declaration that you make about yourself to yourself while holding the image in your mind that you are already in possession of this goal. Start with, I am so happy and grateful now that, and fill in the blank. For example, I am decisive. I easily make wise decisions and in a timely manner. I arrive on time, relaxed, calm, and in control. I'm confident meeting anyone, anytime, anywhere. I feel comfortable in my own skin. I have everything that I need to succeed. Notice that these statements are always positive. Do not use negatives. You'll note that I use the words on time as opposed to not late. Your mind can't focus on the reverse of an idea. If I say to you, don't think of a dog chasing a cat, what image do you end up seeing? Similarly, if I remind someone of something, I always say, please remember, and not, don't forget to, because the word forget seems to stick in their mind. Just like writing down your goals, creating a freedom statement is a conscious exercise and therefore by itself will not have any effect in bringing you the new result that you seek, at least not yet. This stage is like holding a new seed in your hand. It's something you know you want, but that seed has not yet been planted and given a chance to germinate. As you sit quietly, just as you did when imagining yourself in possession of your goal, imagine that you are being or behaving just as you wish to be, just like the person you described in your freedom statement. In this moment of relaxation and awareness, bring in all the senses. Who else is with you? Where are you? Notice the colors, the smells. What do you hear? Feel what it feels like to already be in possession of that way of being. If you're saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that I arrive on time, relaxed, calm, and in control, See yourself in your mind's eye breezing into work or to class or to the meeting with time to spare. Put this freedom statement or a representative image of it up on your vision board. Then, when you are visualizing daily what's up on your board, you're including this new image of yourself. Now, a word of caution. It would be nice if we could make these positive statements really strongly just one time and have them stick, but unfortunately, that's not quite reality. Think of how long you've been listening to the negative statements, your self-talk, the loop of self-talk that puts you down and reinforces these unhelpful beliefs. It's likely been many, many years. And to be honest, you're probably quite good at it by now, having had so much practice. So you need some time to be repetitive with this new image. When I first wrote out my freedom statement of, I am so happy and grateful now that I am calm and comfortable meeting anyone, anytime, anywhere, my conscious mind was incredibly excited about how cool that would be. Imagine! But it didn't take long for my subconscious belief system to crash the party. Yeah, right, my self-talk began. You're terrified. You'll never get over that. You may as well just accept who you are. Yes, I did manage to turn down the volume drastically, but not overnight. Remember, it's taken years of conditioning for you to become the person that you are today, beliefs and all. And so it takes time, often a lot of it, to fully integrate a new belief. When I was introduced to present a seminar, one of my very first seminars, I was quaking in my boots. The thought of speaking in front of this massive audience was incredible. But somehow I knew I had to figure out a way to force myself to get out there in front of them. I had to. They were all expecting me, all 18 of them. I'll tell you, it felt like 18,000. I mean, today I'm comfortable speaking with audiences of any size, but it wasn't always that way. And it's certainly been a process, but what a freedom it has provided. So be sure and create your freedom statement to address your biggest limiting beliefs. The statement should be positive, contain no negatives, be in the present tense, and include an action word as in the examples. Start with the words, I am so happy and grateful now that I am, and really truly feel the happiness and the gratitude that comes with the realization of the new you. We all know that during the day, life happens. So let's at least start and end our days in a positive vibration. A way to do that is with tips number 3 and 4. They're also going to help you alter your old conditioning. Number 3 is what I call practicing mindful mornings. It's about acknowledging the importance of getting off on the right track to begin the day, and it involves 5 components. Number 1, have something next to your bed to record ideas and thoughts that you want to capture the moment you become conscious. Some of the best ideas I've come up with have occurred to me in that time when I'm just waking up but not fully awake. And the other great time ties in with number 2. Do something physical to get moving in the morning, 20 to 30-minute power walk or time at the gym or a bike ride. Physical activity is so important to our physical and mental well-being. And the third component of our mindful morning is to integrate some personal development time. Most of us were not raised about the importance of this. It's not part of our paradigm. I once ran a series called Learning Luncheons, where I would teach a success principle, and then we'd have a group discussion on how we could apply it in both our business and personal lives. Well, Warren, one of the first people who signed up for the series, he owned a very successful office equipment supply business. Well, when he showed up for the first luncheon, someone recognized him and they said, well, what are you doing here? You don't need this. And he just looked at them and said, this stuff works. That's why I'm here. Warren understood that personal development isn't a one-shot deal. It's a lifelong practice. If you feel that you've plateaued, that things have gotten kind of flat for you, you want to take a look at how you launch your days. We're all pretty habitual about our morning routine. We brush teeth, wash. We do these things every day for hygiene and for the health of our body. How about the health of our mind? It needs to be a daily practice. Someone might say, well, I went to a personal development seminar last month. Well, I bet they brushed their teeth last month too. Does that mean that they're good to go for a while? You know we need to brush our teeth on a daily basis to keep them in good shape. Well, how about the mind and our 6 intellectual faculties? What are you doing on a regular basis to not only keep them in good shape, but improve on them and expand them? I'll often be listening to something in this realm while I'm making breakfast. You might find it better while you're commuting. commuting to work or to school or to the gym. Find a time that works for you. And number 4, spend some time reveling in the positive feeling that your vision board generates. See yourself with your goal. Feel what it feels like to have your freedom statements be realized. Experience the joy and the gratitude and appreciation like you've already achieved these things. And number 5 is to continue the practice of gratitude and appreciation by listing or vocalizing other things in your life or people that you're grateful for. What you focus on expands. The more you focus on what's working in your life, the more positiveness you'll discover. In management, we teach to praise the behaviors that we want more of. Utilize that principle on yourself. Acknowledge what you're grateful for. It could be the heat of the sun, the healthy food that you have, a transit system that allows you to listen to something educational and uplifting while you're being transported to work. Maybe it's the health of your body or certain people in your life. The more you focus on what you're grateful for, the more you'll notice more things to be grateful for, and it's a beautiful upward spiral to be in. So that's what I call mindful mornings. The 4th tip to help alter your old conditioning is what I call empowered evenings. There are 2 components to having an empowered evening. First, be sure and turn off any negative feeds, whether that's your device or TV. Don't fall asleep to the doom and gloom of TV or online news coverage. At best, you're opening the door to a whack of physical and mental health problems that have been linked to that nighttime practice. At worst, you're layering onto that a range of negative inputs onto your psyche. Just like your heart is still beating and your blood is still pumping, your subconscious is still rolling onward while your conscious mind takes a break. On the headboard of my bed is a little sign that reads, "Good things are happening, and tomorrow will be even better than today." I love it. It's such a beautiful affirmation to fall asleep with. Dr. Wayne Dyer recommended, "I beseech you to go into your sleep mode by using your mind to assume the feeling of your wishes being fulfilled. This is the beginning of a reprogramming of your subconscious mind." I suggested that one of the things that you launch your day with is to identify things for which you were grateful. Well, before falling asleep, give thanks for everything that happened in the day for which you are grateful. And notice how comforting this can be, especially if your habit is to have your mind racing with everything that went wrong during the day. As you're reflecting on the events of the day, consider anything that you did or said that wasn't in harmony with the new you, meeting the freedom statements that you'll be working with. Rather than putting yourself down about it, relive that scenario in your mind's eye as you would have liked it to be. Perhaps it was an encounter with someone that didn't go the way that you would have liked, or maybe it was a conversation among friends where your words just wouldn't flow and you struggled to get your point across. See yourself instead speaking calmly and eloquently and with perfect confidence. Relive that a couple of times with feeling. It'll help you be better prepared for next time as you're nurturing the seed of what you do want versus what you don't. Think of it as peak performance training that you would do as if you were a top athlete. You visualize your performance and the corresponding desired outcome. Winning athletes don't play and replay in their mind's eye what went wrong. Their coaches train them to visualize a perfect performance. When you do this with intention, with a true feeling and a strong emotional connection, the subconscious mind can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. As I made my transition, becoming more comfortable meeting and greeting strangers, I had to do this a lot. So until we meet again, engage your power tools. Create your vision board. Put an end to mental malpractice by identifying your most pressing negative beliefs about yourself, and create a freedom statement to begin the process of altering those beliefs. Establish mindful mornings and engage in empowered evenings. Remember why it's vital to be doing these things. You want to change some result in your life. You've identified that by coming up with one goal that you'll focus on, and through this session, the negative self-limiting belief or beliefs that have been holding you back. To achieve this new result, you have to do some things differently. Since your behavior is driven by your subconscious conditioning, this is where you need to make the change. How? It starts as a conscious exercise. and using your imagination to build the images of the goal and the new you. Then you allow yourself to become in a relaxed state and see yourself in your mind's eye already in possession of the new desired outcomes. This sets up a vibration in you that is in harmony with that which you seek. And then it's your job to stay in that vibration to the best of your ability and to care for and nurture those seeds until they come to fruition. That's where the vision board, the freedom statements, and the mindful mornings and the empowered evenings will be of great assistance to you. And do have fun with it. During our next time together, you're going to discover some pretty interesting things about your beliefs, which should erase any lingering self-doubt that you may have about your ability to achieve that which you truly desire and to live a life that you absolutely love. Well, that's a wrap for today. If you'd like to take a deep dive into how to turn your thoughts into wanted things, you'll find a link for the full course on our website, sidehustlehero.com. If you're enjoying what you're seeing in this podcast, I'd be so grateful if you would take a moment and add your comment, share the episode, and please subscribe. It'll let others know that there's valuable content here to help them start or grow their side hustle. Thanks for watching, and hustle on.